Governor Dome Emmanuel stresses need for people to positively support the progress drive of the government. Stakeholders at Security Parley organized by the State Police Command pledged to cooperate, ensure synergy in crime control. Yesterday was International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Details shortly. A very good Monday morning to you. Welcome to Channel 45 News at Dawn. I am Akaniyene Ukbong. Governor Dome Emmanuel has called on all to make a choice and resolve to support the progress drive of the state. Mr. Dome Emmanuel made the call while addressing worshippers at the Full Life Christian Center, Uyo, where he attended the second Sunday service. Government House Bureau Chief Colonel Edem Efreti reports that the service marked the 16th anniversary of the church and commencement of its 2016 convention.
Governor Dome Emmanuel, who emphasized that God's decision is final in every aspect of life of his children, including even his leadership of the state, said there was need for all to decide to give positive support to the government to enable it to succeed in moving the state to a level that would reflect the blessings God has bestowed on it. The governor, who said he was out to lay functional economic foundation for the state, stressed that he was focused on turning around the fortune of the state as assigned to him by God. While calling for prayers for the state, the nation and its leadership, he commended the senior pastor of the center, Pastor Ntiantia, for his dedication in the vineyard and awarded 16 years of propagation of the gospel, even as he wished the members grace-filled convention.
I just want to use this opportunity to appreciate the man of God. It is not easy to start a ministry. And you know God works in different ways. There are some people that start the ministry 20 years after. God is trying to overstretch your patience. You might not have more than 100 or 200 members. Not that God is not with you. God deals with us in different ways. 16 years is just like yesterday. Even if you don't do anything in today's service, God loves those who are grateful.
In his sermon, the president of the Umaokwai Evangelistic Association, the Reverend Umaokwai, said it was good to make God part of every human activity for ensured benefits of his blessings. Reverend Okwai, who preached on the benefits of God's blessings, enumerated such blessings to include protection, direction, and increased knowledge.
All we need is to love one another and have this relation as a family. The president as the father of the family. All we need is to talk to his whose power then they will hurt us. All we need is to talk to him who can build a bridge across the waters of life. He who can buy up the mercy. He who can pull down the walls of
the center's choir made the service lively by ministering in songs, even as Pastor Ntiantia led the church in prayers for the state and its citizens. Colonel Edem Efreti reporting.
The state government has eulogized the virtues of Dr. Anne Ward, a medical missionary who served in the famous St. Luke's Hospital, Anoa, Uyo. Government expressed its feelings at the memorial and Thanksgiving Mass in honor of the late Reverend Sister who came to Nigeria in 1956. Patience John completes the story.
The Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Epo, during the Thanksgiving Mass, described the late Dr. Anne Ward as a woman who rendered selfless services to humanity while alive. Mr. Epo also acknowledged her contributions to the growth of the health sector in the state and said that the state government has plans to collaborate with the Catholic Church to explore ways that the legacy of Dr. Ann Ward at the St. Luke's Hospital would be sustained.
My Lord, I want to assure you the government will be very willing to discuss measures that will enable St. Luke's Hospital achieve its glory of the past.
A homily by the Reverend Father Donatus Udoite of the Sacred Heart Parish, Akafo, thanked God for the life of the late gynecologist. Dr. Udoite noted that the Catholic community in the state is proud to celebrate the death of a woman who was passionate about her job of saving lives, adding that her vast knowledge in gynecology led to a training of other medical doctors. The clergyman thanked the state government for naming the gynecology ward in Anua after the late Dr. Ann Ward.
We, however, passionately request for partnership and good mutual collaboration between the state and the church so as to bring back the former glories of what Ann Ward stood for and worked hard to build.
Speaking on the life of the late Dr. Ann Ward, among other tributes, the Reverend Sister Sylvia Ndwaka said the late medical missionary brought honor and respect to the medical profession with an uncommon zeal to help the sick. According to her, Dr. Ward had faith in God who guided her throughout her years of service, as well as helped the women to regain their dignity and be united to their families.
Dr. Ann Ward trained many doctors, many indigenous, that as you know, BBL is not an income generating. You spend, and it's a charitable work. It's a work only those who really want to serve God will be able to embark on.
The late Dr. Ann Ward was born on 8th April 1929, served in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria from 1959 to 2006, a period of over 50 years. In 1990, the medical doctor who majored in gynecology established the first vesico-vaginal fistula hospital in Nigeria, named Family Life Center VVF unit at Ribrikam in its local government area, where many women were reintegrated into the society. She died on 28th May this year and was buried on the 30th of the same month at the St. Peter's Cemetery after a funeral mass at the mother house of the Medical Missionaries of Mary, Beach Grove. Patience John reporting.
The State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Murtala Mani, has called for concerted efforts in tackling major crimes such as armed robbery, stealing, burglary, drug addiction and cultism before they become untamable monsters. Mr. Mani was speaking in New York while addressing a stakeholders meeting on security threats in the state, organized by the State Police Command. The story is here presented.
Mr. Mutolamani says that stakeholders in security matters should come up with control measures that would make it impossible for criminals to perpetrate their acts in whatever guise and go undetected. The Commissioner of Police solicited the support of all communities in the protection of police personnel in the discharge of their duties, and decried a situation where the command's vehicles and other logistics equipment are vandalized at the least provocation. Mr. Mani says that while the command was doing everything to ensure that its personnel adhered to the standard rules of engagement, communities owe it a duty to protect and bring to the attention of the authorities where disciplinary procedures would be applied on erring personnel.
Let me remind all of us that our partnership is embedded with so many responsibilities and obligations. We are to serve you under the sun and the rain, and you are expected to avail us constantly and timely of credible information and actionable results. I have equally enjoyed all my members of the management team, divisional police officers, commanding officers of our interventionist and government outfits like the mobile force, counter-terrorism units, QRS, SARS, Anthrobrin, and the like to ensure that they leave their doors open.
Commenting, the commandant of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in the state, represented at the occasion, says that they would continue to work with the police to reduce crime rates in the state. He described drug as being synonymous with crime, saying that the society should show more seriousness in the fight against drug use, as those who offend the law in this direction live with the people.
A drug-free community is a crime-free community. It's a community where you find investors that we so dearly need to boost our economy will come in. With crime, nobody will come to your country, nobody will come to your community to set up businesses to employ our youth. And so, any community that loses its youth, who are the main productive unit of any economy, then that community is lost.
The representative of the School to School Initiative, an organization that campaigns against cultism in the society, lamented that the monster has assumed an alarming dimension as secondary school pupils have been introduced to it. He says that a fight against cultism is a fight against robbery, kidnapping, maiming, drug abuse, and killing, and called on government to declare a state of emergency in this direction given its growth and spread in the society.
The wife of the state governor, Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel, has again called on the women to join hands with the government in its efforts to move the state to enviable heights. Mrs. Emmanuel was speaking during this month's women prayer meeting held at the banquet hall grounds of the government house, Uyo. The women prayer meeting had as its theme, Join in the Move. The governor's wife expressed gratitude to God for his mercies and sustenance of the prayer meeting and called on the women to always exhibit the virtues of gratitude and tolerance to attract more blessings from God. During prayer assembly, which coincided with the first anniversary of the meeting, Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel prayed for teamwork, love, and unity of the state, an attribute she said will take the state to the next height. In an exhortation, Pastor Otebeno John Udo admonished the women to join in the move to love and unity and righteousness. She called for support of the people to the state, as explained in Exodus 17 verse 1, which states that citizens should support their leaders to succeed. This month's prayer meeting featured a special Thanksgiving testimonies and prayers for greater grace on the governor, Ms. Udom Emmanuel, wife Martha, and the unity of the state. In attendance were the wife of the Speaker, Dr. Odrak Luke, Deputy Speaker Princess Felicia Bassi, former Deputy Governor Lady Valerie Ebe, wife of the Chief Judge Mrs. Veronica Akun, wife of the SSG Gloria Umorin, the head of civil service Mrs. Ekerebe Wakman, among others. Yesterday was the last Sunday in the month of June, and by extension, the last Sunday in the first half of year 2016. And so Christians, particularly in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, assembled in their different churches to thank God for keeping them alive and also supplying their needs. Eyareno Paul visited some churches in Uyo metropolis to capture the mood of the worshippers in the churches.
If one feels disappointed in the other, he may decide to keep a distance from the person or may make another choice. But in the case of God, whom Christians believe is the author and finisher of the faith, the beginning and the ending, as well as one that has the final say in one's life, can one be disappointed in him? The question becomes necessary because at the beginning of 2016, many people in their resolutions expected so much from God before the end of the half of the year. But have the expectations been met by God? If the answer is otherwise, can they look the other way for solution or continue in life? Listen to this respondent.
I won't get to the India people, and you're going to go back and my son Premium. Then I said, my yes, Premium. Don't worry, I didn't tell you before about your phone.
Now pray and ask God to give us our expectations. A good thing that God is always preparing to give the people that know how to worship.
The Bible says every situation will come to God, and then our God Almighty can never forget us. We should exercise patience and wait for Him. He will surely visit us, and whatever that was meant for us, no matter how long it takes, I think we will get it.
The sermons of the last Sunday service in most churches anchored on God's promises to His children. The resident minister of the Lutheran Church of Nigeria, Udodoma Avenue, the Reverend Janetia Thompson, said no matter what a Christian believer goes through, God will meet him at the point of his needs. The General Overseer of Glorious Life Gospel Church, Evangelist Nsika Godwin, said that there is time for everything, and that when it is time, God will surprise the faithful. To the General Overseer of Zion Deliverance Ministry, Bishop Owa, the believers are adopted of God through the Holy Spirit. As such, they are heir to God's kingdom.
That God in His own mercy is judging us, not with an intention of condemning us, but an intention of reminding us to refocus and redress our step to His own mercies.
At the Mount of New Covenant, Akaitiam, the Apostolic Church, Ibiako Ford Assembly, and the Mount Zion Lighthouse Full Gospel Church in Meteropan, the last Sunday service in the month of June afforded them opportunity to express their appreciation in this manner. In all the churches visited, the congregation prayed, thanked God, and sang to express the fulfillment of God's promises on them. Yagenopo reporting.
And now to security matters. Participants at a one-day stakeholders meeting on security threats in the state have described the Pali as a welcome development. This and other stories when we return. Stay with us.
This is where we belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's all matter, you know. We go stand together, we go make up the child. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we stay. Everybody, you know. It's all matter, you know.
So good to have you back. Participants at a one-day stakeholders meeting on security threats in the state have described the Pali, organized by the State Police Command, as a welcome development. Speakers at the meeting, which included the Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Godwin Tugude, the Controllers of Customs and Immigration, the Commandant of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and that of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, agreed that such meeting was necessary to ensure synergy in the security situation in the state.
What whatever success a team record is dependent upon the vision, the capacity, the direction, the focus, the man called the leader.
So one of the basic areas the Immigration Service seeks your kind cooperation for the security of the nation is in the area of human trafficking.
By trying to do our job very well with self-control, shall we shy away so that we don't self-control? It means we have to self-control. And I'm begging you today, how comes to self-control?
Security is everybody's business. The part of the NDLEA, drugs are synonymous to crime. There is no crime without the push of drugs.
Other speakers, including the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State Chapter, the Reverend Idris Okwere, the Chief Imam, the Jaw Leader, Yoruba, the Vigilante, and students groups pledged their commitment to peace and orderliness in the state. They acknowledged the good partnership that they have enjoyed from the State Police Command and said that they will continue to work in association with the command to ensure a crime-free Akwa Ibom State.
Members that worship with us, that purport to worship with us, are real members. Because some of them may not be members after all. They may be commercial members, looking for money, and where they are not satisfied, but the kind of thing they see, they may turn out to be some other thing for the church. But we also need the assistance of the security agencies.
But we thank God in Akwa Ibom State we don't have problems. We talk to them. We always interact with the police whenever we see a new face in the state. Because all these problems are caused by those that are passing, transiting, not those that are resident in the state. We have good neighborliness. And when we talk of the German, we are talking, if you go all the streets in Akwa Ibom, you will see the job people. In the whole world today, nobody should brutalize any human being. Talk less of in Nigeria, where we have a very fragile democracy. So that is an area that I want us to look at.
Firstly, I would like to go straight on the issues of transport.
Yesterday, June 26, was observed as the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. The day was first observed in June 26, 1988. It was chosen to commemorate Lini Zexu's dismantling of the opium trade in Humen, Guangdong, just before the first opium war in China. The day was instituted by the United Nations General Assembly Resolution of December 7, 1984. It is to remind countries and communities to continue to improve the lives of everyone blighted by drug abuse by integrating security and public safety with focus on health, human rights, and sustainable development. It is also celebrated to raise awareness on the major problems that illicit drugs represent, because according to the United Nations, nearly 200 million people are using drugs such as cocaine, cannabis, hallucinogens, opiates, and sedative hypnotics worldwide. The 2016 International Day Against Drug Abuse. Good morning.